Hi, my name is Brody Comp. I'm Senior Account Manager at Techexcel. The video that you're about to see today is a follow-up to our first software demonstration meeting that we conducted earlier in the month. Taryn Zhao, our CEO, and myself had the opportunity to meet a lot of you at your Tulsa location where we demonstrated the proposed software. And I want to take a moment to thank you guys for that. Everyone was very welcome. It was a pleasure meeting you all, and you were very well prepared. We left with very, very good feedback. Taryn and I had a conversation immediately following that meeting, and one thing that we landed on was you guys are very passionate about what you do, the service that you provide, and the product that you offer. As we are very passionate about the product and the service that we offer. We both realize that working with someone that has the same passion for what they do as we do for what we do is a really strong opportunity. It's an opportunity to collaborate with someone who matches us in that passion. And with that, I think that we can build a very, very strong relationship. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for your feedback. So let's go ahead and get started. So after reviewing the info and the feedback that we received, Taryn and I got together with Prince Huang, our product development manager, and Charles Liu, a senior member of our development team, and we continued building on the proposed product. We feel we've built a very solid solution that meets all of the requirements listed in your RFP, but more so, we've effectively built a solution that provides 100% traceability of test specimens and your logistics. Additionally, we improved the sales and account management, building a platform that tracks and manages your sales leads and your sales opportunities, as well as a program to manage the life cycle of your service and partnership agreements with your clients. Sales and account management. Get a comprehension of the strength of the sales and account management platform that we worked on. I think it's best we refer to the workflow and the workflow process first. So what you see right now is the workflow that was built inside the admin platform, or I'm sorry, the admin application. There's 3 separate workflows. They're all linked together. And there's different triggers within the workflow that will either revert to another part of one of the workflow processes or start the workflow process again. So it really allows us to incorporate some automation. So there's 3 separate workflows. One is new sales opportunity. The other is account lifecycle management. And the third is new supply order. Let's take a look at the new sales opportunity process. So what you're seeing, I'm logged into the support portal already. We're going to go ahead and open or start a new sales opportunity. This new tab that you see at the top, that's a sticky tab. So whatever page that you're on, you'll always see that new tab feature. And we're going to click on sales opportunity. Get rid of that there. All right, so in the admin, I've built what we call smart screens. So when your sales reps or account managers log into the support portal and open that new sales opportunity, they're going to be able to select sales type. That drop-down menu is going to provide an opportunity for those 3 work processes. So we have that account lifecycle management, new sales opportunity, and supply order. So if I select supply order, you'll notice that there's a completely different interface for the rep with very unique fields to that work process. Same thing with account management. You're measuring other key performance indicators, account health, if the account's at risk for renewing another year for service. So these fields will allow you to better track these particular sales processes. Same thing with supply order. There's different fields for that. The supply order interface, that is something that is integrated in all of the work process. So really at any time when a sales opportunity is built, and I'll demonstrate this later here, you can build a supply order, print invoices, email invoices to your customers, and if you're tracking inventory, you can track inventory as well. I'm going to go back to new sales opportunity, and we're going to run the process here. So the first thing that your sales rep's going to do is put the client information in. So we have a couple of opportunities here. If they're typing in the name of the customer and it's a customer already in your database, it's going to recognize that. That field's going to search your current database and populate that name. Or if they select the plus, they can put the company information in. There's a button here that says check if client exists, so there's no duplicating of customers and values. But we're going to go ahead and use Grady Memorial Hospital, and you'll notice when I selected Grady Memorial Hospital, there were two buttons that popped up. One is client info, where you can go to the client information and get the details there. Two is past incidents. So immediately you can go through the current open incidents, past incidents for this particular customer before we even input the sales opportunity. You can also sort those sales opportunities by the different fields. So if you wanted to look at just closed opportunities, or if there's multiple purchases pending, you can see those as well. There's a lot of different fields that you can filter those past incidents by. The main contact information, or the main contact person is going to populate in the quote to, bill to, and ship to fields. And then we're going to go ahead and start filling out our fields for this particular form. Opportunity, that's kind of the title of your opportunity. It's going to default to sales in this case, but we're going to pick the territory first. And this territory field has a parent-child relationship with the assignment option or salesperson. So because you guys are working in territories, if you select Tulsa Metro, it's only going to give you options to assign that to a salesperson within the Tulsa Metro or assigned to the Tulsa Metro area. So if it's someone else that's putting in the opportunity and not the actual individual sales rep, they're not getting confused on territory, and things will be a lot more organized. Now we're going to select a lead type, and this is customizable as well. I put in some current lead types that I thought off the top of my head. This is a hospital, so we're going to select hospital. Account type, now we have the option of prospect, tier 1, and tier 2. I know that you guys track sales with your customers that are within their first 12 months of partnership or service. That's going to be your tier 1 customer. Your tier 2 customer is going to be 12 months and after, so a multi-year contract. And then prospect for your new leads. The sales rep has the opportunity to select sales renewal probability. So since this is a new prospect, I'm going to keep my probability low until I cultivate the customer. Expected amount and expected PO date. Since it's a prospect, I'm going to leave that open. That's going to come into play as we work this account through the workflow. And then any notes that you want to add to that initial sales opportunity. Now, once we have the fields filled out properly, we're going to go ahead and submit new. Actually, we're going to hit submit and continue. So that's going to submit that opportunity, save it, and now you'll see that opportunity as a new sales opportunity, and then you'll have your additional pages here that you can toggle to or click on to fill out more information. So now you've got that new lead or new sales opportunity in the workflow. If you remember looking back at the workflow, With that process, when that new sales opportunity comes in, it's going to first state be new sales opportunity, and then that rep has the possibility of or the option to move that to a qualified lead, meaning they've met with the client, they're no longer a prospect, they're more of a sales opportunity, they're cultivating to close that opportunity. So let's say there was a meeting that was scheduled and completed. We're going to put our notes in here. And now I'm going to qualify that lead. So now we've moved that or transitioned that, that account from prospect to qualified lead. Our next step, we're trying to close this as a new service agreement or new service partner. With that service partner, we're going to send them a service contract. So I know sometimes you guys use service contracts, sometimes you don't. Either way, we're basically moving that account from a sales opportunity to a partner. And now that we've developed that into a stronger lead, we're going to go ahead and maybe put a projected revenue on that. So based on the information that we gathered in our meetings, we can indicate that. And my sales probability has increased from 25%. Now they're about 75% sales probability, and I'm looking to close this by the end of the month. So I'm going to put an expected PO date of 6/30. Now we can send that service agreement or service contract. So we're going to move that to contract sent. Work description. We're going to add some additional notes in here that actually will give some history or some context to why we're moving it to contract sent. And we're going to save that. So again, we're building on each state, in each transition, we're building and cultivating this account. So now we've got this contract out. We're waiting for that contract to come in. We've got information on sales inventory or supply inventory. So now we can start building a quote for supplies. We want to indicate how long that quote is valid and at what date we've quoted that. And you'll see we've gone from that new sales opportunity to the sales quote tab automatically. And now we can start editing that quote. Now I have all of your supplies built into the system already. The supply order form that I had was a PDF. It didn't include pricing, so I didn't include any pricing, but once that's loaded into the system, your pricing will show under that unit price. We can also do bulk pricing where, I know a lot of the supplies are by, hundreds, packs of 100s, packs of 25, or individuals, so we can control that as well. So just for demonstration purposes, I'm going to select a couple of different items. And because we don't have the pricing in, I have to manually put that in. But again, that will be automated, so there is an additional step there. And we're going to grab some of these as well. And let's go ahead and grab one more item here. Heel warmer. All right, once we have that information populated, we're going to hit submit. Let's close out this screen, and you'll see that our product is line itemed on this page. Now, this isn't the visual for the actual quote or sales order. So if we're good to send that, we can go to print quote. And now it's going to generate a sales quote for you that you can print or either email to your customer. This was built for Regional Medical Lab, so this is customizable. If there's anything that you wanted to change on that, you certainly could, but it's going to populate that contact information, bill to, quote to, and all of your quote information and the sales rep information. There's an area for signature, date, title, and then you can put your terms and conditions into that quote as well. All right, so we've printed that out or emailed that to the customer, and the customer's got their service agreement or service contract back to us. So we can go ahead and move that to contract received. I'm going to add my work description notes, again indicating why I'm transitioning this. Now I've submitted that. So I've got the sales amount, my projected revenue. My projected revenue might have been like a quarterly projection, semi-annual, or an annual projection. The sales amount is going to actually show the accumulated sale amount. So you'll be able to track projection versus real revenue, actual revenue. So again, we can toggle to the different tabs here. The history, as you might be aware, you're going to see a history of this actual account. It's going to give you that visual history on the transition, who's been working on it, why they transitioned it. But now that we've got this client almost ready to, let's say, close, there's a couple of items that we now can do. We don't necessarily want to just close this account. There's some onboarding that needs to take place. So part of the automated feature that we've got built into the workflow, we've got a new client onboarding button. So the account manager will be able to click on that, and it's going to generate a new incident, not in the sales project, but actually in the customer support project, and assign that accordingly based on the auto assignment rules that we've established in the admin. So we'll go ahead and submit that. So that's fired off. Now someone on the support team or fulfillment, they're going to receive that new ticket, and they'll start managing the onboarding. Now, as you see, it doesn't take you out of that sales screen. It brings you right back to where you are. So we've got the supply order. We've got onboarding started, new client onboarding. Now, instead of closing that, we're close to closing it. We want to transition this account to an account lifecycle management because we want to be able to manage the account in the first 12 months. We always want to manage the life cycle of a contract. So by selecting transition to ALM, we can indicate where we're at, sent to onboarding, or and now we can indicate whether this was a renewed partner agreement, just a single supply purchase received, or a new partner agreement. Again, we want to be able to track these sales accordingly. This was a new partner agreement, so I'm going to click on that, submit. Now you're going to see that there's some inter-project actions that we have set up in the admin. This is also part of the automation. So whenever you close that new contract or you close that renewed service agreement and transition to ALM, it's automatically going to revert to that account lifecycle management workflow process. You can make this optional, or you can make it mandatory for your sales reps. I'm going to continue that and submit. And now that particular sales opportunity is closed, but a new one is open under Account Lifecycle Management. So if we go to our incident list view, we'll be able to see all of our sales opportunities. And Grady Memorial Hospital is what we were working on. And you'll see it's no longer a new sales opportunity. We've got an opportunity for Account Lifecycle Management. So let's go ahead and open up that opportunity now. Now, the Account Lifecycle Management program that we put together is based on what I call QBRs, Quarterly Business Reviews. Now, we can customize some forms to gather information on each quarterly business review, but with that new Account Lifecycle Management ticket or incident, it's automatically generated for events for those particular milestones. So the ALM, again, it's built on QBRs. We've got a 90-day QBR. So within that, we're following up on onboarding, making sure onboarding is completed and first supply orders received and everything's good. The next event, which is dated out 6 months with a start time of 12/5, since we're in June, is our mid-year QBR. So again, we're going to build on that. And I've got some additional information that I can provide you guys as to kind of the milestones and the objectives of each QBR. But the idea of it is really to never be surprised by an account. If you're following at the very minimum these 4 touches and you're building on each one, once you get to that pre-eligibility stage and that month of renewal for that service agreement, you should have a very clear picture on the health of that account and whether or not they're interested in continuing service for another year. So it's a strong opportunity to minimize the attrition of your accounts. The mid-year QBR, I consider that kind of the leverage point. In that mid-year QBR, you're really kind of digging into the health of the account, whether they're satisfied with the service, if RML is reaching or meeting that customer's expectations. The idea is you want to uncover any conflicts there, because that gives you the opportunity now, really gives you 6 months opportunity to resolve those issues, to when you get into that eligible renewal or pre-eligibility QBR, you're satisfying that customer. You're bringing that account from a neutral or at-risk account back to a healthy account. So now when the account manager or the sales representative is meeting with the customers on those QBRs, they're going to fill out some different information than what they did on the sales opportunity. Most important, I would say, are either the account health and projected to renew. So under account health, they're going to indicate on this, the first step obviously is the 90-day QBR. They're going to indicate whether that account is a healthy account, a neutral account, or an at-risk account. Obviously, if it's at risk, their projection to renew, high probability it might be no. I bring that up because I also have some escalation rules based on those fields. If an account manager or sales representative indicates that it's at risk or it's projected to not renew, that the director or the manager will be indicated by email that there is an account at risk. Additionally, we can run a report and put it on the manager's or director's dashboard that will show kind of a line or a bar graph of all at-risk accounts with a drill down report with a list view of those accounts. So obviously those are accounts that you're going to want to keep a little bit closer eye on. And then once that QBR is completed, they can indicate that, and then they can submit that. Now you're moving it through that account management workflow process. Now, when it gets to the end of that workflow process for the ALM, the last event is going to be your eligible renewal. So if they're a renewal and you indicate yes, they're a renewal, it's automatically going to take that account, close it on that QBR, and reopen and open a new incident on that new sales opportunity. So now you're going through the work process. Once the ALM work process is closed, you're going through the work process of renewing that service or partnership agreement with that account. So there's some automation built into that. So it's a cycle that continues. Renewing those service agreements, going back to the account lifecycle management, managing the lifecycle of the account, minimizing or mitigating your attrition, and then back again to renewing that account in the workflow process. Those events and those incidents are created as they start closing the service agreements. Your account reps, your sales reps can then start managing their day through the events as well as the calendar view. So if we go to the calendar view for this particular rep, they've got this set to their day. They see that they've got a list of 90-day QBR calls to make. They can either click on that, or if we can go to the event view, we've got that set up as well, so they'll be able to see what events or what tasks need to be completed for that day or for that month. Like I said, in this case, we've got 90-day QBR calls that we need to make. All of these 90-day QBR calls, or these events obviously, are attached to the specific incidents. So the incident is the account management lifecycle. The event is the tasks that are required to execute that incident. So when they click on that event, they'll see that it's a 90-day QBR and who the client is. Now we're going to move on to the courier and logistics. After careful research, we've decided to partner and integrate with Onfleet for the logistics and the courier operations. So what you're looking at is the Onfleet dispatch dashboard. This is kind of the central hub. Everything is kind of managed from this dashboard. That's to the drivers and integrated with Customerwise. Now, for demonstration purposes, I have a lot of this set up already. So you'll see a map with some grayed out points here. Those are called tasks. Those are actually your courier pickups. You'll see those on the left here as well. Let me just kind of show you how I set this up to kind of demonstrate the simplicity of it. If you click on the settings icon here at the top, there's a couple of items that we're going to set up. So you've got your teams, your drivers, your dispatchers, and your hubs. Drivers, obviously, those are your courier drivers. You're going to put those or organize those drivers on teams based on the hubs. Now, the hubs are your fleet locations. So this is where your courier drivers are going to be dispatched from. Organize that into Tulsa Metro, Bartlesville, and the Kansas hub. And to create that, just hit the plus icon. You would put that information in. Now, I've uploaded the drivers as well. And I've got, I believe, about 19 drivers scheduled right now or input into the system. Once those drivers are input and your teams are created, your hubs are located, you can assign those drivers to those particular teams. And those teams are then, of course, associated to the hubs. So, of course, we've got RML Tulsa Metro. That's coming to the Tulsa Metro hub. So those 19 drivers on that Tulsa Metro team are dispatched from Tulsa Metro. You could put multiple dispatchers in as well. Right now I've got one dispatcher, Terry, and that individual is dispatching to all 3 locations. So there's 2 ways that we're going to manage this. We've got your scheduled courier pickups, In this situation, we call these tasks. And those tasks you'll see on the map here. They're the grayed out. If we zoom in, you'll see that's a task there. If you click on it, it's going to highlight it in the list. Right now, they're unassigned tasks. So we just put the information in, and I uploaded those information, or all of these tasks, all of these courier pickups with a CSV file. So you're not having to input every individual task, every individual location. So I've got those uploaded already, but I haven't assigned those to the driver. And when we assign those to the driver, we want to kind of organize it based on optimization of that route. I'm going to go ahead and zoom back out so we can see everything here. So we've got down here, we've got all of our drivers, we've got our teams and our hubs, and we have our unassigned tasks. And again, these are for your scheduled tasks. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to assign all of these tasks to the different drivers, and I want to optimize that route. So I'm going to highlight all of our unassigned tasks. I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit optimize 110 tasks. So I've got 110 courier pickups right now that I want to schedule and route amongst all of those drivers. So I'm not actually taking the route, or I'm not actually taking that courier pickup and manually assigning it to the driver. The system's going to do that for us. It's going to take in, it's got an algorithm that's going to take in the distance, traffic, all of the current information and optimize that route. Now you'll see when we click on optimize tasks, we've got some parameters that we can set. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to select what drivers we want to assign these tasks to. So I'm going to assign all of these tasks to the Tulsa Metro hub and that Tulsa Metro team. So if I click all of those drivers are going to be selected. And then I can input the maximum number of tasks per route or per driver. So in this case, I'm going to put 15 tasks per route. Now, per pickup, I can also indicate or input the amount of service time. So right now I'm including about a 15-minute service time for that particular courier pickup. We're also indicating that that the courier driver is going to start and end at that particular hub. And now we can optimize on two things. We can optimize to always arrive on time. So within these tasks, we've included different pickup times for that courier pickup. So if it's between, say, noon and 3, it's going to take that into consideration and optimize that route based on that information. Or we can include minimized drive time. So basically optimizing the route on the best drive time and the minimum time. But I would consider this always arrive on time optimization to be more of the customer base, or I'm sorry, the customer service centric type optimization. We want to please the customer, so we're going to select always arrive on time. Now we've got all of our routes. Once we're done, we'll see that these pickup locations, these tasks are all assigned to our drivers. Now if we want to see a particular route, let me zoom out here a little, or zoom in a little bit here. Let's go ahead and select one of those locations, and you'll also notice that these tasks have changed from that opaque gray to this purple color. The gray tasks, or the gray pins, indicate that that task is unassigned. When it's purple, that means it's assigned. When that task is complete, it'll show a pin colored in blue. If it's en route, if the driver is en route to that particular task, it's going to indicate in green. And you'll also see on this map in real time, because it's GPS, you'll see the location of all of your drivers and where they're at in the route. So I clicked on one of those pickup locations, and it's going to show me that actual route. Let me pan over here and zoom out. Here's where we're starting, and here's the route that that scheduled driver is going to take. So this is going to set up all of your routes and optimize those routes for your scheduled pickups. Now, obviously, you can include multiple pickups per task or per location as well. Now, as the dispatcher, I've got a couple of different views. If I wanted to view a single team, I can do that. I can also look at what type of tasks we have. So if I wanted to see just those tasks that have been completed or succeeded, I can do that. Or if there's a failed task, if the driver is off route and they missed that pickup, it's going to show that with a red pin. Now we're going to take a look at how we manage those stat pickups or the one-off pickups. So let's say the dispatcher takes a call for a pickup. They put in the address. They create that task by hitting the plus there. They would put all the information in. I'm going to just go ahead and kind of manually create a task here. Now I can choose to manually assign that to a driver, but I want to find out who the closest driver is, what driver en route is the closest to this new task. So I'm going to create that task, and it's going to show that in gray because it's unassigned. Now I'm going to go up to that particular task, and I'm just going to auto-assign this task. And I can assign this one-off task to either the closest driver or the closest or the shortest route. I'm going to go to the closest driver. And we can see that this was actually assigned oops, I'm sorry, let me zoom out. So now that one-off task has been assigned to the driver, the closest driver to that task. All right, now that we have the dispatcher dashboard all set up, all of our courier pickups, our tasks imported, and all of our drivers' routes optimized, we're going to take a look from the driver's perspective. So when the driver arrives at the beginning of the day, they're going to log into their Onfleet app on their smartphone. And if they're not already, they're going to go ahead and toggle to go on duty. When they do that, it's going to load all of that fresh information, all of those tasks that were optimized and that route for that particular day for the driver. So in this instance, the driver's first stop is going to be Ross Healthcare Services of Northern Oklahoma. That's located at 427 East Cherokee Avenue. And now the driver's ready to start their day. Now, when they do this, and that route is updated and uploaded to Onfleet, that driver's Onfleet app, Customerwise is going to automatically create, because of the integration, a route incident with this scheduled route with all of the courier pickups as events. And I'll show you what that looks like here in just a minute as we go through the driver's task here. So now that the driver's logged in, he's got his new route.
his locations for courier pickups, he can go ahead and click on that first location. Now, if he's ready to get going on the drive, he can do that. Or if he wants to hit the map, he can go ahead and navigate with his smartphone navigation map. He can navigate to that location. Or if he's ready to start, we can just hit start. And now he's on his way. Of course, this is GPS driven, so we're not going to see that route actually in motion or in action, but I can show you what the driver is going to be doing as he goes through the event here. Once he arrives at that location, the driver will go ahead and tap to complete. So that means he's arrived at that first stop, and now he's ready to kind of process the pickup. He has the option to scan, take a photo, or receive a signature. In this case, we're scanning, so he's going to go ahead and scan the barcode for that location. Once he scans that location, that information is automatically going to be uploaded to the route incident in Customerwise attached to this particular event. So that event is going to be the actual first stop. So he scans that location in, and now he's ready to actually start scanning in his specimens. Once he scans in the specimen, again, that's also going to be uploaded automatically in real time to the Customerwise event in that route incident. And he'll continue to do that until he's got all items scanned. Once he has all items scanned, the driver's going to hit done. So we're going to continue, and that task is complete. That's also going to send that to the Customerwise incident in this particular event, showing that this event is now complete and they're ready to go on to their next route. So the driver would hit their next route and continue as they were previously. The driver went on duty, uploaded his task, that event was created. Let's take a look at what's going on in the background here on the Customerwise side. So what you're looking at is the customer support portal. That incident was automatically created, and this is what it'll look like. So you'll see here that my driver was Bruce Garner. The incident request type is courier tracking, and this is basically indicating that that courier has started his day and started his pickups. So the events will be created here. Like I said, as the driver is executing his route, when he hits that first stop, once scanned in, is going to pop in as an event. The specimens that they are picking up are going to be tracked through your assets. So we've got asset templates for the specimens. So once they scan that in, it's going to recognize that as that asset and attach it to that event.
In closing, I believe we put together a solution that not only covers all of your requirements, but also provides 100% traceability of your logistics and your courier pickups. Again, I want to thank you for your time today. I also want to thank you for the opportunity to visit with you earlier in the month, and we really look forward to hearing from you. I hope that we can forge a very strong relationship.